Hey, it's your gotta go fast, live and learn, chili dogs are life, OC, please don't steal Savi. Name an iconic speedster. Quicksilver? Boo. The Flash? Nah. None of these compare to the one and only Blue Blair, aka Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic is one of those gaming mascots that will never go away. He has countless iconic games from the classics on the Genesis, his Adventure series, Generations, and the most recently well-received Sonic Frontiers. Of course, with these iconic games, there are some that are complete dog shit, from the horrible disaster that was Sonic 06 to what the fuck was Sonic Boom to the game I want to talk about, Sonic Forces. In this story, after an altercation with past villains Shadow, Chaos, Zavik, Metal Sonic, Eggman, and a mysterious unnamed character jump Sonic's bitch ass, Tails and a bunch of random NPCs watch and do nothing as Sonic gets his ass whooped. With Sonic defeated, Eggman conquers the world and the rest of the Sonic gang is left behind to form a resistance to take on Eggman's madness. Silver the Hedgehog, who's heavily inspired by future Trunks from Dragon Ball, states, Sonic is gone, basically confirming Sonic is dead. Rest in peace, the Blue Player. You'll be remembered fondly, just not for this game. Knuckles introduces the Recruit, aka our very own, unique, definitely not Sonic avatar Phonic the Girl Hedgehog. Phonic the Girl Hedgehog alongside the Resistance are now tasked with filling in massive shoes and save the world from Eggman. Barely a loading screen later, after all the sad looks and saying he's gone.
News! Sonic is alive!
Knuckle informs us Sonic is actually not dead and has been captured and tortured at the orbiting prison for months now. Okay, the game could at least gone a few levels before revealing this information instead of like 10 seconds later. It really kills the momentum, so much for that. Okay, now that Sonic is alive, a brand new OC, Phonic, and finally for whatever reason Tails somehow runs into a chubbier Sonic. Now there are two Sonics, so 3D Sonic is the very chatty guy, and 2D Sonic is the non-verbal chubby looking one, or Modern Sonic and Classic Sonic. These Sonics have met in a previous game, Generations. Now with 3 characters to play as, we take on Eggman and his team to save the world from devastation. The only other notable thing is the new mysterious villain, Infinite, who uses the power of the Phantom Ruby that Eggman created and uses that ruby to create replicas of Sonic's past villains. Now with that, how's the gameplay? 3 playable characters, and must be hard to balance all 3, right? Is the game worth it? But aren't they actually the same characters doing the same thing? Is it fun? Yes, I think it's a fun, corny ass experience with plenty of problems. You can beat it in its DLC in one sitting. It only took me 3 hours to beat the game. No, I did not 100% collect everything, and I will not because I don't care enough and the game doesn't give you anything for doing so. So what do I think of the 3 playable characters? Modern Sonic and his stages are enjoyable. Boost through enemies, which are really satisfying to do, homing and attack to reach other areas. Forget that you don't have enough boost energy to use and crash into enemies. Kinda sorta drift in some sections. I'm fast as fuck, boy. The majority stages take like 2 minutes or less. It's Modern Sonic stuff, man. It's exactly what you expect. Modern Sonic gets such over the top stages that it's corny but Sonic. During the escape from prison, there's a section that Sonic hops between spaceships that tries to emulate something from the movies, and honestly, it's kinda cool looking. They have rail grinding sections that make it feel great and fun. I freaking love it. You can obviously tell that Modern Sonic was the main focus for these levels and got the better of the levels to play through. The Avatar stages are more of the same. You can't boost like Modern Sonic. You get the new gimmick Wispin that use the power of Wisp that were introduced in the vastly superior game Sonic Colors, and a grappling hook that works as it sounds. Wispins can be changed after any stage. There's Burst, Lightning, Cube, Asteroid, Drill, Hover, and Void. Each handled differently and can be useful in certain scenarios, but I just stuck to Burst and Lightning. There's also great set pieces. Here's an example. During Chemical Planet Spaceport, which has an amazing theme, it has a QTE section that looks great. It makes the OC stages feel more engaging and feel thought out. Here's another one. OC and Sonic get double boost sections where the player taps X or whatever button your controller has for a massive burst of speed as Fist Bump plays. The song Fist Bump is generally one of the best parts of the game. It is a really good song and I highly recommend listening to it, especially the Nate Wants the Battle version. These sections aren't common, but man, it feels great to pull off. OC and Sonic and the Resistance feel like each other's stage benefit one another. The story starts to unravel and slowly begin to take back the world. So far, not too bad. Then there's Classic Sonic, whose stages feel like an afterthought. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy Classic Sonic. Sonic Generations showed how modern and classic can work fantastically in a game. This for sure isn't the case though. The stages don't feel like it benefits the story in any way. It's slow compared to the other twos. Yeah, Classic Sonic doesn't have boost sections over the top sections like the other two do, but it's still Sonic and I feel like the stages were shoehorned into the game. Sonic Mania, the game before this, was a return to form that showcased how classic Sonic fares in a modern age. It showed that it is possible to make stages feel fast and stages to be unique and fun to play through. The stages and forces are boring as hell. If Classic Sonic wasn't in the game, things wouldn't really change much. Classic also has one of the worst fucking stages to play through, I'm not even kidding. One of the things I liked about the Classic stages was the invincibility theme. Instead of the Classic theme, it plays the instrumental to Fist Bump. That's shitty, that's the only thing I really liked. Sonic Forces only has 6 boss fights, with the last one being the best in my opinion. Again, past Sonic villains have returned turn, but for whatever reason we only fight 2, but we do not fight Chaos for whatever reason, and Shadow's taken out by the real Shadow in an instant. Modern Sonic takes on Zavik, and honestly it took me way too long to figure out the fight. Zavik is on this giant bee and it slams down. I kept jumping here and not getting the homing attack, but he's supposed to let the slam bounce you then homing attack. It is the first fight and it's fine besides me sucking ass. Classic Sonic gets one boss fight against Eggman. It starts off like a classic Eggman fight, then Eggman hops into Egg Dragoon, which is really cool looking, and you just bounce back metal blocks at him. One of the better things about the classic stages. Infinite makes up for the majority of the boss fights here. There are a total of 3 encounters. The first encounter is with Modern Sonic as you're running along a giant snake, and Infinite does almost the same as from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, a solid boss fight. The second encounter is with OC Phonic, and this time he's fucking with us during the stage. It is a really cool stage. Infinite's Phantom Ruby distorts the world around us. This stage leads into a close encounter fight as I lightning whip that bitch and he fires nuke-sized rockets at me. The last encounter with Infinite is with OC and Sonic, and through the power of friendship, double boost, and it's over. Infinite's boss fights were fun and made the experience a lot better. It finally leads up to an Eggman fight with Death Egg Robot that uses the power of the Phantom Ruby. Each character takes on a phase of this fight, starting with Classic Sonic, then OC, and then finally all 3 of them at the same time, boosting and homing attack as usual. Modern Sonic calls for Classic and OC to perform one final all-out Friendship is Magic, performing an almighty triple boost, sealing the fate of the Death Egg Robot. Sonic Forces was a missed opportunity that had incomplete, decent ideas, a customizable avatar character that had different enough gameplay with cool moments and plenty of outfits to stand out from the rest, but bare bones compared to other games with similar customization. I welcome the addition and I think it's something that should come back. Phonic definitely not Sonic the Girl Hedgehog will be forgotten. Modern Sonic stages felt like more of the same. Classic Sonic stages are even worse, but one of the best things about it is the invincibility theme. Boss fights were not utilized to their full potential, with Shadow and Chaos not even getting anything. Infinite was a cool idea that basically had a JoJo power, but fell short. It wasn't able to grow in the 4 to 5 hour game. Eggman was just Eggman again. Yes, there was a DLC episode with Shadow and felt like a waste of time. Everything else in this game felt half-assed and an afterthought, not worth the price of admission. If you were to find this game free or heavily discounted somewhere, yeah, it's a somewhat fun short game, but there's way better Sonic games out there. Want a classic Sonic game that understands what to do? Go play Sonic Mania. Want a modern Sonic game that actually feels complete? Go play Colors, Generations, or Sonic Frontiers, which I haven't played but I hear great things about, and it's pushing the series in the right direction. Sonic Force's best thing overall is the music, and even that is nothing compared to music from past games. What do you think? Do you think Sonic Forces was worth it? Were people way too critical on it, or do you think it's a very meh game like I do? Let me know in the comment section below. This has been Savi. See you in the next one. Laters!